We've got just in time to catch the start of the game. So we are live, despite the fact that we've gone over to Shenzhen now. So we are in NIP's own arena. They'll have the home crowd advantage here. We'll call it just before the series starts.
Okay, but already, by the way, if you didn't see it there, we've got Draven and Melio here for the gentleman's agreement. I think is starting to come on through. Doggo's Draven is going to be very massive and obviously important for Ultra Prime as they set themselves up to continue climbing up in the standings.
Yeah, it's a weird composition from Ultra Prime versus what you usually expect on the other side. NIP, very standard, very stock and standard. The only slight variation I would say is, you know, the Gwen in the top side, but that's just counterpicked Kazante, so still reasonably standard.
Oh, Harry.
No! Harry brings himself right into the open arms of Shadow. It's an absolute disaster. He thought he was making the play, but he was the receiver of the play. Is now Forge trading with Angel in the mid lane as well. Invincible first blood on the Gwen with the counter pick already. That is bad news bears for Harry. He does if Invincible walks into him. Invincible trying to escape from this one, but Ning should finish the kill and answer the top side.
Yuck your yum here. Oh my god.
Hang on, Chwok just taken out of the fight straight off of the bat here, but his traded back and forth is absolute chaos. And the ninjas in pajamas, they're dressed for the occasion as they're bringing nightmares to Ultra Prime. 3 kills for them, or 2 kills for them, sorry, in trade for just 1.
Going to be able to have those aggressive plays. If you can spike with a ton of adoration stacks around the 15-minute mark like now, you can come up with half an item lead that Photo won't be able to match. As we see all these kills happening over again, like this was just a really good start to a fight that Ultra Prime, unfortunately, they spent a lot trying to grab this dragon. And it's a new one, right? You're expecting for fights to go a lot longer. When we've seen old Draven builds, it's been about upfront damage, the Eclipse, the Essence Reaver. With the Trinity Force, you're going to get a lot of movement speed and stacking attack damage. As Harry tried to get him under the turret, up against Invincible.
All out comes through. Invincible tries to get the snip, can't quite find it. Q3, does it hit? Yes, it does.
Oh!
Harry turns it around. No! The auto reset. Invincible cuts him down. You just can never catch it. It's so annoying.
And they really wanted to try and get some bottom lane action. Juo.
Oh, he's got a stopwatch though, and here comes Photic trying to clean up Forge on the backside, but he's walked straight into Photic, who's going to shred him. Shadow buying space in the rest of the fight here. Doggo popping off as well, but his sword art to go down. Last the resets are there, and Angel cleans it up. Double for Doggo, but at what cost?
If you take a look at this replay, I mean, they're winning the top side matchup. Juo caught out, but is able to make the most of this play, and it's just a red, white Aphelios moment. We've seen this time and time again for ever since this champion's been released.
Yeah, so Doggo does get the cash out at very least.
Yes, before
going down. And then, does he get the second one? Not quite. But even still, I mean, that's a huge amount of gold into the Draven. In terms of Doggo specifically, this fight is fine. Even still, you see Ultra Prime now trying to fight for vision, and with a Kha'Zix, with a Draven, with a Lissandra, you know that this is a composition that really want to try and find a sneaky pick in the jungle. It's down to NIP working together to fight for that vision and not get caught out of position.
They're gonna try and pick.
Photic is here, Juo steps forwards, but he's just not tanky enough to make that happen. Ning finds an easy one alongside Forge.
Whoa, Ning!
Jumps on forwards, way too far forwards. Shadow uses the Cyclone, buy spaces. Angel's going to look for a charm here. 2 more charges on the Spirit Rush, but I don't think they'll look for more.
Oh, look at what this is doing, though. They're pulling so many members in through the mid lane. Invincible, we've talked about how much of an individual lead he has. Harry moved from top side all the way down here, so more gold going over to the Gwen, and will become more and more of a split push threat as this game goes on, which will be so important for NIP as they look to try to
the Everfrost lands, the charm lands as well. Photic should finish the kill. The Ignite is there, and Photic gets the bonus. Just disrespect from Doggo there. I don't know why he stepped so close to Angel. And now, look how much more they can grab. Sword Art is on the wrong side of the map. He doesn't have a tower there, but Baron is spawning in 3 seconds.
Wow.
80 carries down. They're just going to go for it.
I told you these two teams are some of the fastest in the league, and as soon as Baron spawns, we're going to try to go for it. We're going to get another team fight here, Munchable, so get ready.
Everfrost comes out, Harry buffers the CC as Invincible charges forward with the Shroud, the flash And it's going to be that anchor and the charm going ever so slightly wide, but it was a pixel in it. As Ultra Prime doing enough to deny the Baron.
There you go. 2 teleports as well.
They didn't even know
win
it.
for Ultra Prime. Yeah, they're not going to go for it. We have a dragon spawning in a minute and a half. We'll take a replay as to how Juo ended up dying here. Just stepping into Fog of War. This was a good pick for Ultra Prime. Oh, and that ultimate just not able to get this. I wanted to be a little cope here and say that Doggo has like 1.5 items here because he does have the Cozy Campfire giving him just a tiny bit of extra attack range, just like a mini RFC. But then this pick, like NIP perfectly saying, you can't step here, Doggo. I don't care that you don't have flash. Well, guess what? You step up. There's Angel with the charm, has the ignite. Like, you just got caught.
I mean, Angel doesn't flash, he doesn't ult, he just walks up to him. That is a big misstep from Doggo, honestly. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, Sword Art shouldn't have been there. Sword Art needs to stand next to him so you can get that ultimate. We've got the Baron starting up again. Teleports in for our mid laner.
Draw, trying to find the engage here. Shadow is fairly low on this one as Ultra Prime want to fight this. It's 5v5 for the Baron. Wait, no, it's not. Forge is dead. Where did Forge go?
Wait, what?
Died during the replay. And now here we go, the Baron taking an bonus kill as well from Votic. I don't know what happened during the replay, but NIP are over the moon about it. Harry with the all-out trying to survive, but it just ain't happening as another one goes the way of Votic. And, you know, Draven's meant to be the one snowballing, but Votic, he's more than in charge in this one. 4-0-5, same for Angel in the mid lane. Everything looking up Pyjamas.
And now for Ninja's Pyjamas, they'll be able to take over the entire map. Forge moving out into his bot side to try to fix this wave before NIP can get down here. Angel's going to stay, push this wave under the turret. And they're even setting up immediately for the dragon.
And they're going to get pressured in 2 lanes now, so Angel is more than comfortable to walk forward to grab this. Doggo's got to be careful because they're getting pinched right now. Forge goes in for the play as the rest of the team disengages. It's a disaster for Ultra Prime. Shadow knocks everyone in the map up. He's gone a little bit deep on this one, so the rest of the team now has to try and save their jungler and save him. They will. He somehow gets out. I feel like he was knocked back somehow. I don't even know what happened there. He does go down in the end. But it's a 1-for-1. It's 2 inhibs taken NIP. It gets a little funky, but they still get out with the inhibs.
Now 25 minutes, like the base is fully open. For Ultra Prime, I guess the only silver lining you have is you have 2 lanes of super minions that you can feed Doggo straight up, funnel gold into this member, and pray that the gold that he'll be able to get the experience will catch him up and rubber band him back into this. But it's 9,000 gold, Munchables. It's going to take 2.5 miracles here for Ultra Prime. As we get a replay of this fight, I mean, Forge is trying to be in engage, but unfortunately, look at where his team is. He's in no man's land.
Shadow, I think perhaps overestimating how much his team could follow up here because, you know, they're all currently dealing with Forge as he turns gold and dashes away. Just about.
What killed?
But then,
oh, what?
what?
How does that get through? Okay, you know what? Well, maybe it's because he's not using championship Kha'Zix. We saw it earlier today. He's picking up a different one. Being able to push that. Forge.
Attempt from Forge here, but Votic's okay for the time being.
Ning
jumping into the backside. He's looking to assassinate everyone. Invincible survives though. Double kill for Ning as he looks for a little bit more. The flash from Invincible. And here comes Shadow to try and turn the play around. Angel alongside him looking for Doggo here. And they will get the Draven down. Forge jumping back into the fray. Is Harry doing work and Forge finishing the kill. Ultra Prime back on top.
Finally, we get to see Forge find that kill, and it might not be the end. Angel, one last auto attack. Can Harry get it? Flash, 900 gold going over to Ultra Prime.
Nice one, Harry.
Invincible!
Wait a second, Invincible's just gone into the base. He's got his Shroud as well. He's just going to end the game. They can't finish him off. Oh my days, Ultra Prime finally get a fight, but it just doesn't matter.
Matchup just now, as we head straight into the draft here for Game 2.
I mean, Tanguman actually from RNG having some pretty good moments on the Ari earlier on today as well. Shout out to him. Speaking of, though, will be banned alongside the Nico and he taken off the board. We're actually going to have a pretty interesting mid lane here.
Oh, man. Angel, I don't know, maybe he's just naturally that happy, but also the smile when we saw the anti-ban, he's like, all right, come on, man. Like, that good respect ban going over from Ultra Prime. Now, like you were saying, could be an interesting mid-meta here, as we have seen both of these guys kind of break the norm in terms of what we've seen. Forge really stepping out of his pocket and going for the equality that we saw earlier this week. And for NIP, just the other day when we saw NIP versus OMG, Angel pulled out Twisted Fate, which is not a very popular pick right now, and definitely has some weird itemization going on across the world.
Certainly does. I'd be here for it. I'd absolutely be here for it if we do see that locked in. But we'll have to wait and see if that's going to happen. Zeri, an early ban. I feel like we're seeing less early Zeri bans these days. Usually it's the Yuumi that's banned, which has slipped on through. Are Ultra Prime willing to go for the Yuumi without a Zeri, without an Aphelios?
Gonna be interesting, as also Lulu is not banned. I like this from Ultra Prime. More answers to be able to dive onto the enemy AD carry. Interesting to note for Photic and Jewel is they have a ton of Aphelios games, which is not uncommon for most of our AD carries here in the LPL, but Jewel prefers engaged champions, has been picking the Nautilus, the Thresh even as well, over getting some of those enchanters. We have seen some enchanter play, but for NIP, alongside with Shadow, it seems this team really has a focus on, we want tools to be able to start fights, to be able to engage onto the opponents. And what better way to do that with those champions that we had listed earlier, and even now getting the Maokai here for Shadow.
Yeah, Maokai Jace, it's a powerful combo, getting the AP from the jungle and having priority in that mid lane using that Jace. So powerful lock-ins coming through. And the Gragas locked in could be mid, could be top. Is a flex these days, as we do quite often have tanky mids, especially Forge. I feel like the Gragas mid would certainly fit the style of gameplay we're seeing from him recently, as Jack's now being banned away. That screams to me this Gragas is going mid, because Gragas likes playing against Jax.
Yes, yeah. That's what I was going to say. Just like getting rid of the Jax, this is obviously going towards this. We also still have Cassante, so just another matchup that would be a bit tougher for Harry to be able to play against Invincible. And when we're talking about this Gragas mid matchup, it's going to be like Jace wants to be able to go in with the melee form, but anytime he does, there's the body slam coming in from Gragas, the heal with the W. It's going to be very difficult. We'll see what these mid laners can do, because they are very different, I think, for Angel, where, yes, we're going to handshake the fact that some teams are just not going to play Zeri. We're not going to be able to pick up the Yuumi. Let's move on and try some different stuff, because our top laners are getting bored, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting bored. What's been going on? The Renekton locked in did get buffs on this patch, so will be interesting to see with the Maokai AP brought to the team. I'm curious to see what build Shadow actually goes for here, how much AP he builds, because there's a lot of AD on this comp now. All 3 lane carries going for that AD. Whether or not Shadow still just goes full tank anyway on the Maokai. Over on the side of Ultra Prime, though, or everything in the doggo basket on a Xayah, not necessarily typically the hyper carry that people think of.
Exactly. We'll have a better time this game only because you look at what NIP has, the Maokai, the Nautilus, the Renekton, all will want to provide threat and try to kill Doggo. There's not really too many targets that they have otherwise. Are you really going to try and do that onto a Gragas, a Cassante, Leona? I don't think so. You really want to get onto Xayah. And so the longer she's able to stay alive, the longer we see Doggo be able to put down feathers, the more dangerous I think it becomes for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Touching a little bit on that Maokai point that you had there, talking about what build, when we have seen it paired with Jace, it has been primarily that AP build. Demonic Embrace going for more damage, could also pick up after the Demonic Base the Redemption to try and get more HP, be a little bit more resilient, and we'll see what he has, because First Strike, Phase Rush, Aftershock, these have been the mainstays for this champion, and do wildly, I think, change how this champion operates when you have these different keystones.
They certainly do. We'll see what NIP are going to bring to the table here for game number 2. Ultra Prime You know, falling a bit short in the first game, I think it's fair to say. Those fights early on going the way of NIP, and then the snowball got out of control. And I don't know what he's planning on doing here. Yeah, just dropping a bit of vision. I was going to say, is he going to try and invade onto the Crooks here? That would be a little wacky.
Well, Ning does have a level lead, and there's not many camps, so just covering for mid lane here as Forge, half HP, has to be able to walk through mid. We actually going to get a super early scuttle fight right now. Invincible and Harry are actually going at it in the top lane at the same time.
Angel the target, Shadow backs away, Forge in trouble and gets followed by Shadow. That'll be one. First blood coming on through as now Shadow has to try and escape. Ning can't find the Q though, and Angel gets one as well. It's everything NIP could have wanted.
He still has his entire top side quadrant here. As Ning with a level lead, you would think that this was a good fight, but look at where Forge is. Where Angel doesn't have the mana, Forge doesn't have the HP. And they just find this pick.
And the fact that the fight starts with Ning missing that Q as well, like, it already feels bad. And then the second Q after the flash, it's a bit of a nightmare for Ning, honestly. It certainly is. As now, here we go, all out in the top side. Can they find Invincible? Gets a bit of healing, trying to escape with his life. Harry in trouble as Ning steps on forward. He can't win that 1v1. Harry has to be a part of it. Invincible cuts through them, and Renekton is back, baby. The Croc is the king of the top.
Yeah, finding out this kill, I mean, Harry just wasn't in a position. I was kind of waiting for when the ult was. Okay, so he pulls him into the wave here. This has been a common combo. The Q lands, but that flash, the heal from the Q from Invincible means that not able to do much. Without a level 6 here, this play's just not possible. If they both had their ultimates, this is a for sure 1-for-1 at the very least. But Renekton gaining that priority in the top side, it allows for that, and NIP get this. They're in a good position.
All in comes on through NIP. The perfect game might be dead, but Shadow survives for now. Photic with a combo onto Ning, and he'll finish the job as well. Shadow was just baiting all along.
Oh man, and even Forge throws out the ultimate. Jewel, what are you doing? What are you doing up here, brother? Has to use the flash, and okay, that's going to be him getting out. Remember that Rift Herald was popped down. Forge, I don't know where Forge is right now because he should be mid lane instead of joining for these plays. He's losing out on so much gold in the mid lane. Not only a CS advantage, the Cole is there for Angel. He's getting plates in the mid lane. NIP, they are just taking advantage, and Ultra Prime feel a little lost.
Remember earlier when we said both of these teams are middle of the table teams and it should be a close one? And then we saw game number 1, it was scrapping back and forth. Game number 2, this looks like a top team versus a bottom team. They are destroying Ultra Prime here. The fact that the plates are all going, I mean, let's take another look. As it looked so bad to start with.
Yeah, the ultimate lands. I mean, just Doggo's not here, and unfortunately, Forge just a little too late. Great ultimate coming out from Shadow stops the Gragas from getting into position. And the unfortunate fact about gold is the more that your opponents have, the less that you do, and it becomes harder and harder to actually get back into this game.
Here is Shadow, wants to try and find Doggo and Sword Art. Doggo cleanses early, the Featherstorm is there, but Shadow's still following him. That's everything burnt from Doggo, but Sword Art tries to find Shadow instead, but just finds his grave. Invincible now in a 1v1 with Harry. Dominus popped, as is the all-out, knocked back here, but Harry not quite winning this one out, forced back underneath his tower. He's lost 3 plates at this point in the lane.
Wow.
Yeah, Forge stepping forwards here. He knows that he's got support coming. Sword Art's here for the CC chain. Maybe they can stop him. Flashes away from the damage from Angel. Knocked back again as he goes back in and denies the perfect game. Forge with a kill onto Angel.
Goes ultimate.
Featherstorm comes on out. Flash onto and will just get shredded. Nothing you can do in that situation as Ning does get himself out to safety. In the meantime, Angel trying to 1v1 Forge. Forge does a good bit of damage there, but whiffs the ultimate. And Angel should be able to finish the job. Turns back into his cannon form here. If he can find the Shock Blast, he'll find himself a kill as the rest of NIP. Barreling down the mid lane. Ning is here. Harry, Sword Art, they've got to try and defend. The Herald will get its charge. Can they find anything more off of it? Photic charging forwards. They might just get a mid in him. It's only 16.5 minutes into the game. The Sword Art pulled back into the fray. Moonlight Vigil used in a stopwatch, buying some time. Invincible the target. And finally, a punish from the side of Ultra Prime. Here comes Angel to try and turn it around as Harry dives into backline onto Shadow. Droll there. And Photic in a 1v3 and he's winning it. How the hell is it going so one-sided? Double kill for Photic. And he wants Doggo as well. A 2-level lead on the enemy AD carry here. Clean's going to be forced. 2 autos. Takes over half of Sword Art's health right there. Photic is a monster.
At this point, if you take a look at this replay, they use that Rift Herald from that mid play, use it into try to go for more. Harry, though, I will say, comes up pretty massive in this play. After this kill onto Invincible, it's this ultimate from Sword Art, and then Harry's able to get into the backline, but Angel has arrived. They're able to disrupt, like you were saying, Photic in the 1v3 there. He has all of those crescendoms just ready to go with all the chakrams. Zhuo standing up, finds that hook onto Harry, which felt like it was a bit of a reach. Ning and damage. Invincible with his teleport.
He's come behind enemy lines and Sword Art will be the target. There's one for him. Doggo completely zoned as Dwarf flashes back into the pit to survive. 3 taken, looking for 4 is Invincible. Chasing down the Xayah. There's nowhere for the birdie to go. Crocodiles win that 100% of the time. Welcome to the Animal Kingdom. Baron will be taken down and NIP are dominating Ultra Prime.
Photic flashed over the Baron wall to interact with that fight. He said, look, I'm not going to even bother with this Baron. Let's get down in business up against Ultra Prime. It's 15-4 here, Munchables. 21.5 minutes. They're going to drag the Baron out. They're going to grab this mid inhibitor, barring these minions no longer wanting to hit the this objective. Okay, so the inhibitor is going to be saved. Minute and a half before dragging. That'll be our next objective. That'll be the soul. And this is the point in the game where Ultra Prime, they're going to have to play their hearts out. 13,000 gold down.
Not going wide of Sword Art. Hitting Harry instead. I love how Dwarf and Angel are just zoning everyone. Invincible is like, raid boss arrives.
Yeah, before you get into the other part of this fight, you gotta make it through me as this Renekton. And unfortunately, they do not pass go. They do not collect $200. They just go straight back into the fountain. As we get a fight coming out of the replay.
Here we go. Shadow low at this point, but the rest of the team not really able to follow up onto him. And he's got Photic alongside him. Invincible happy to tank for literally infinite time. Double kill for Angel. And there's one for Photic as well. Harry almost gets it, but denied as the triple comes through. Angel having a phenomenal day. MVP in game number 1. Now a fantastic Jace performance in game number 2 as well. Might be looking for double MVPs at this point if Invincible doesn't take it himself. They're going to just push through the mid lane.
Yeah.
That's going to be game in 23 minutes. The Ninjas are on fire.
They're going to take this game. They're going to go 2-0 in this series. And Munchables, you've had a long day today, so it felt only right that we were able to give you at least a quicker series here. NIP, big fans of you. Getting that 2-0 for themselves. They're going to move up into the standings to 4 and 3 and start to secure that position into that upper echelon.
Yeah, I've got to say, it's only 1/2 where I am. This is a much shorter day than I expected it to be. 3 2-0s, and in pretty quick fashion as well. NIP, honestly, it has to be said, kind of just destroying Ultra Prime there.